Hello, I'm ABX and this is Store Sunday, the weekly series where I go through some Minecraft Bedrock store content and work out whether it is worth your time and worth your money, because obviously you have a limited amount of both those things, and the Minecraft store is filled with things that are looking for both of them from you. So today I wanted to talk about the missing Minecraft console edition feature, which is of course minigames. A lot of people really miss Glide because nothing like it has been recreated in the Bedrock version, except maybe it has, right? Because as well as being able to see like, oh yeah, we got the minigame, you can get these skin packs from that version of the game in here, which I guess is kind of like a constellation prize. We also have a brand new map which came out this week from MPVP, which is called Space Glide. So this is obviously based on the Glide game mode, and they take it into space and give it a little bit of a, kind of map theme spin. And personally, I think that it's good value for money because it costs the same amount as a Glide skin, Glide track pack, but it comes with 53 skins, so it's kind of like a nice little deal. But is, the deal worthwhile in terms of the content you receive itself? And that's something with me going through in today's video, because I think, again, they brought back Glide. I think we have to give them at least a little bit of a go, because MPVP are generally speaking the most community-oriented server out there. When it comes to their server, they tend to focus on the community first rather than the monetization, unlike quite a lot of servers out there. And given that they made this map right here, I figured that would be on the same level. And there is a lot of things where it is, and there's a lot of things where it's wildly different to what you expect from Glide. So maybe this is the best thing you've ever seen because you love Glide, or maybe it falls a little bit short, but that's something you can decide after you see today's video. So first of all, let's talk about the kind of layout of the map, because there is, like I said, 3 separate levels of this. However, if you want to do them, they unlock in order. So if you want to play, track 2, you have to defeat track 1 first. If you want to play track 3, you have to defeat track 2, before that. So basically, they will unlock in order. There's kind of like a difficulty progression, which is kind of cool. Glide maps made for Minecraft console, they all had the same difficulty, which gave them more replayability later down the line. But in this one, obviously, it's just like, oh yeah, we can play level 1, and then we can play level 3. And in fact, we'll start with level 1 right now, just to show like the core basic experience of what is going on with this, because you'll see how, like, even though it's the same name as Glide, and it does have the same gameplay, the same basic concept, there are quite a few things that are done just a little bit different, enough so that it really does change some things. So after the little wall comes down, it's a nice little touch, by the way, isn't it? Which, by the way, this works in multiplayer as well, I should mention. But after the wall comes down, you can see how, like, oh, this is very different indeed. We're not in a confined space. In fact, we're in this huge space area. I mean, my render distance is high enough that you can see outside of it, but you can see how, like, oh yeah, we're flying around literal space. There is space debris, there is planets, there's all this sort of stuff in my way. We're going to fly up through this one and into the sky. You can see how it looks like that. There's these little planetary little void things. It's a very, very interesting idea. And again, following the MPVP theme of being like, oh yeah, they're in space, because who doesn't love space, right? This map kind of follows the same thing. They take the Glide concept and they take it into space itself. And the cool thing about it is it's not just about, like getting to the finish line like it is elsewise. And it's not like you need to, go through the things. In this, you can go from one end to the other. But if you want to make it there, you're going to need, you actually have to go through these little things. Sorry, it's not like there's not like the magic barriers. Instead, they use these little things using command blocks, and they give you firework rockets, so you can pick your own times for boost. So I have 8 firework rockets. If I want, I can launch them right after each other. And yeah, basically, if I run out of rockets, I'd be in serious trouble. But since that's not the case, I can kind of abuse them right now as we go through the map. So yeah, it looks amazing. It's a much different experience, I would say, to the same standard, but done in an entirely different way. So instead of using like these very enclosed, very linear experiences, it's a much more like, oh yeah, well, there you can see the way to the end. It's very, very clear how you get there, but you can also go sideways a little bit. You can go into the meteor field. You can go around the planets. This one like is an Earth planet with a ring. You can do all this sort of stuff if you really want to, and I think that honestly adds a lot of feeling to like the race element of it, because in when you play Glide on the console version, the one kind of cool thing about it is you can obviously see who's in front and who's behind you, but in this you're running side by side. You don't know who's got the fastest route to laughter, and I think that is a key thing in adding replayability, so it's something they've done really quite cool. So yeah, you can also tell that the maps are a little bit longer than they are on the console version, because we're still not done with our first level here, but again, I think that is personally kind of a positive thing. I think, the fact that you pick your own boosts, so it really comes down to like optimizing your speed and optimizing where to use them, I think that's cool. And the fact that the maps last longer make it a more competitive and also more fun solo experience. So yeah, I think all in all, really great on both those fronts. However, my only kind of criticism of the maps themselves would probably come in the element of like, well, they're all wildly different to each other. They all come in wildly different lengths. So the first map, and it's like, again, it's pretty long. Like it takes like 3 or 4 minutes. The second map is of a similar length, and then the third map, even though it's my favorite one, it's much shorter. And it takes like a minute or 2 to complete once you know what you're doing. And it's super weird to compare that. So again, map 1 and 2, There's a difference in how long they are, but not a big one. But map 3, it's a much, much harder than even the first two ones in terms of like your difficulty. So I think it's really fun by itself, but it just doesn't really feel like it's part of the same system as the other ones. So yeah, I definitely think as far as, you know, this is a really great replacement for Glide. If you want to play Glide with your friends, it sucks that you can't obviously have that easy multiplayer thing set up, but just invite some people to your game. It should work as long as they're playing the same version, they're not playing a beta, and you are like, once you work out if you're on the same version, get some friends in and you can do this sort of stuff. And you'll have a great time doing it too. So, yeah, okay, let's go up through here. So yeah, you can see already, like, how wildly different this already is. And you can also see that, like, some rings don't give you fireworks. It's only the blue ones and the black ones, as far as I can tell. There's some, you know, there's a little bit of a learning curve as you pick this stuff all up. But so far, at least, oh no, I'm not going to make it through the ring. Oh, yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yeah, okay. Oh no, I fell. And I fell again. Okay, well this is terrible. But yeah, basically you can see how the map has a lot of really cool stuff going for it. But it also, this one feels wildly different to that first one, and you can also see how like the coin element seems to be focused all on this last level as well. So yeah, it is kind of great that they've made it into this single player experience where you can collect coins. If you're curious as to what the reward is, by the way, it's that you get to have like an outfit that looks like mine. Look at me, I'm a spaceman. Oh, okay, I died showing me being a spaceman. But you can definitely see in this, oh no, I hate this part of the map. It's really tricky. You gotta go up and down, and it's a real good challenge. I like it personally. But yeah, basically you can see how you can unlock not only just, you know, new space stuff, but you can also buy a trophy to show that like you're the coolest, you've done this whole thing. And I think it's a really great proof of concept. I think we're like 90% of the way to like a really cool minigame replacement like thing. But personally, I actually would like to see this on the MPVP server. Maybe not these exact maps, maybe not in this exact way, but the fact that it's you know, lacking in a couple of ways, that, you know, because although it is a map and it's not a minigame, it works flawlessly, it works perfectly, and maybe that wouldn't work if you turned it into a minigame map, because I know servers really have a struggle in making their content, okay, I think this is the end here, by the way, in making their content work on servers. But I think this is a really great idea, because the amount of fun you can have with a friend on this is wonderful. And I think the single player stuff that does exist, the progression, kind of not important. The item store, you know, it's nice, but like, why would I want to buy more fireworks? Or, I mean, besides that trophy, like, do I really want to look like this with my little leggings on? You know, let's buy them anyway, just so you can see my little, you know, me trading out my leggings. It's something where it's like, does anyone really feel the need for that? Probably not. For most people, this is just a map that you can play by yourself, have a bit of fun flying around with, or it's a map that you can invite some friends around and do that with too. So let me show you level 2, because again, it's very much not like level 1. It's sorry, level 3, and it's only a little bit harder than level 1 as well. Like, you probably will get through it with no problems. The only thing I will say is that each of the maps is so okay, things I like about this is that it's a really cool idea. I'm glad someone, you know, looked at the play at the console community, and I feel like MPVP's done a really good job at every stage being like, yeah, you know, we see the issue, and you know, if you want to play console, we're gonna actually actively try our best to make, you know, our server a good experience for that. And it looks like they want to make minigame maps that are perfectly designed like that too. Like, oh yeah, so you miss Glide, they sent out their whole team, and you know, the amount of effort they spent to build these maps is crazy. So I love the concept behind it. They're one of the few people to focus on something that replaces that missing content. The second thing I really love about it is the minigame maps. They're designed so beautifully. Like, seriously, look around this thing. It is just a beautiful map. Like, you can see, you know, look at the detail. It's you know, it's like spaceships in space, and the amount of time it must have taken to build some of this stuff is beyond insane. And then they sell it for like £3 or something like that in the UK, maybe $4 in the US. It is ridiculously cheap for the amount of you know, like content that's been designed here. It really is almost or at the same level as a 4J level map, which is impressive given they have like full-on artists that are employed just for the purpose of making their maps. And it seems the same here, if nothing else. Whether that's true or not, it seems like it is, which you know, you have to give them points for. Like, seriously, look at the size of this space battle, and we're just here to fly through it. It's crazy. So yeah, I love the map design. However, I will say the progression elements, they're basically non-existent. Like, I don't know what you would put in there, and you know, I'd love to one day work on something like this and then make the perfect Glide map, or perfect thing like that, because I feel like there are a few examples of like, oh yeah, you could have some progression system where you have to do each map in a certain amount of time. Maybe you get faster skins, or you have to have less fireworks. Like, there are challenge game modes you could do if you wanted to make it solo. Whereas the coin system, it's a really interesting idea, and it looks fun to get the coins. But given that they don't have any real in-game purpose, I'd prefer a system where, like, oh yeah, they were tracked somewhere, and then they gave you, kind of like Mario Kart, every one you get is an extra 1% speed boost or something. I'm not sure how you do it, but I would love to see some reason to replay it in single player, because personally, I played for each of these 2 or 3 times, and I've enjoyed it. I've looked at the map from different angles. I've seen more and more and more of it, but I wouldn't be able to play this 100 times like I played a lot of the glide maps. I wouldn't be able to play this, like 50 times, or just play it unlimitedly with friends, because yeah, this really only works as a fun experience that first time, and it works as a really fun experience to get the glide ditch out, and it even works as a fun experience in multiplayer. But it doesn't have the unlimited replayability, which makes it, again, the glide map we all need. And I think the best way to achieve that is to put it on the server, where you can have, again, that stuff stored server-side if you really want to, so you can never, worry about losing your stuff. And, yeah, what would I recommend this map, though? 100%. If you're missing glide and you have that itch to go through the stuff, this map will deliver perfectly on that. This map has everything you need to scratch the itch of, like, yes, I'm flying around and I'm trying my best. And it even does a little bit better by throwing these firework boosts rather than just, like, making you go for a thing. It feels so much better. It feels so fun. And yeah, I would totally recommend the map if you have the mine coins around, because not only is it a great map, but it's also for a pretty damn good, like, reason, like, to show, yeah, we want to see glide maps, we want to see more glide maps, and, yeah, I also would love to see, like, somehow, like, some more official, like, glide thing, or some other glide-based maps, because seeing stuff like this really gives me hope that, like, the community can step through and bring us through, the weird times we find ourselves in. And yeah, that gives me hope personally. Maybe it does for you too. But either way, I hope you all enjoy this video. I would love to play this sometime and, like, do some form of, like, stuff with it. So I don't know, if you have this stuff and you want to play it sometime, let me know in the comments down below. But for now, I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope you all enjoyed my experience with the glide maps, and yeah, let me know what you think in the comments down below, because I am just psyched that I have now an opportunity to play around that gliding stuff on the Bedrock version, but I want to hear your opinions as well. So thank you very much for watching. Give it a like if you liked it, share if you really liked it, and turn on notifications so you can see these videos daily on your homepage. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.